We're joined by Paul Gross, part of the Gross Family Center for the Study of the Holocaust and Antisemitism. Paul, tell us about your Gross Family free speaker series. Actually, Dr. Hayes was just at one of them.
Well, it started here in Palm Beach County 3 years ago with less than 100 people at the first lecture or two. We run about 12 per year. Free lectures, we run them here at the JCC, both in Hood Road here and in Boynton Beach. They've been very, very successful, and they grew in the second year to 200, 250 people. And today's session was approximately 600 people. We haven't had less than 350 this year at any one of our lectures. So they've been extremely informative. They're very, very helpful. The good news is that we're turning out tremendous audiences. The bad news is we're not getting the students, high school or college level, to attend, and we are trying. So just this past week, I met for the second or third time with the Deputy Superintendent of Schools of Palm Beach County, Keith Oswald. We've already met, my daughter Lauren and I, with Dr. Pertnoy, who's the Superintendent of Schools. The school system in Palm Beach County is the 10th largest in the United States. There are 197,000 children in the Palm Beach County school system. There's only one superintendent, one deputy. It's very centralized control compared to most other school districts. And the Holocaust, as you may or may not know, must be taught in the state of Florida by statute. Well, the statute's there, but it's not being taught very well to very many students. So it's a very, very difficult problem to run it through 28 regional schools within the county.
Is there even a standardized method of teaching throughout the state?
No, not at all. It's the Holocaust is one sentence. The statute is one sentence to teach about the Holocaust and the Nazi atrocities that occurred, and the why and wherefores and so on. So your book, Why, which was a terrific lecture this morning that we had, we have offered 1,400 copies that the Gross family were going to pay for to give to every student in this entire school system in Palm Beach County, and they turned me down on the argument that they only change books every 5 years, and they're committed to this other book for another 2.5 years, so it is what it is. But my goal, and Lauren's goal, my daughter, who's again running the program, is to get to the high school level, because it's wonderful to work with the seniors, but the difficulty is we need the juniors, we need the kids to learn about it and thoroughly understand it.
Absolutely, not only in Palm Beach County, but globally, we really need to insist on everybody learning about the Holocaust. So why is it so timely now that we make a push for speaker series and education about the Holocaust? Do you want to answer that?
I think it's always been timely. I think that there are aspects of American life right now that suggest to people that the relevance of this topic has become greater, but I think the issue of combating anti-Semitism is eternal, and it's as vivid to me now as it was when I first got interested in this subject, which is 50 years ago.
Well, what about the fact that the Holocaust survivors in particular are dying out, and I think the youngest survivors are now in their 70s? Yes. Yeah. That's a problem.
Well, they were children at the time, so they're not really experiencing the atrocities per se. But the county school system, and Dr. Pertnoy and his deputy, Keith Oswald, have agreed with us that they will put, per our request, a survivor in every school next year, the 28 school districts, to teach to an assembly. Not to teach, but to describe their experiences. Because we've read over and over again that one lecture or discussion with a Holocaust survivor is more important than him reading 10 or 15 books about the Holocaust, that personal experience. So we hope to be able to bring that to every school system, to every child in the county next year.
But it's certainly true that the problem is not going away. Obviously, the problem is going to get more extreme with the absence of survivors altogether. It's not an unfamiliar problem to historians. It happens with every subject over time. I'm old enough to remember in elementary school World War I veterans talking to me, and the connection of the personal connection that makes, and they've obviously been gone now for a while. That's the job of teachers. It's the job of all of us who are engaged with the subject to make it interesting, to make it absorbing, to give people a sense of personal connection through us with the subject.
What about the resurgence of the issue of Holocaust denial? How do we deal with that?
Oh, I think we deal with Holocaust denial with contempt. That's really the first approach. The Holocaust is one of the best documented events in human history. We even have, people often forget this, there was a famous moment where Heinrich Himmler gave a speech in October 1943 to the assembled SS commanders in a little town which is now Poznan in Poland. And Heinrich Himmler talked openly about the killing. We have a vinyl recording of that speech in the United States National Archives. You can hear Heinrich Himmler's voice saying these things. We have enormous documentation of what happened. We have the registration books at Auschwitz. We have many of the manifests listing people as they were deported from places in Western Europe where they were sent off, because what they did is, as part of the concealment, they drew up, from the people who were being put on the trains, they drew up lists by name of everybody who was on it. And the idea was, you see, we're keeping track of you and we're sending you to a place where they will want to receive these lists, and so on. So we have enormous documentation about this subject. Deniers are simply ridiculous people who are trying to make this, who are denying because it serves some function for them internally to say this couldn't have happened to these people or to this category of people. It's a form of anti-Semitism, denial.
It is, it is. Well, I appreciate both of you joining us. It's so clear that education is the key to combating all of these ills and anti-Semitism and the Holocaust deniers. So I appreciate all the efforts that you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.